If there's one thing I've learned in 36 years of building homes, it's that the concrete home builders are a special breed. They understand and respect the destructive forces of nature. And it's for this reason they have committed themselves to provide a better product for their customers. One thing that's eluded us, and that's the ability to provide an affordable concrete roof with our concrete homes, which is the most important part of the structure. You will be amazed how simple the solution turns out to be. Hi, I'm Greg McDonough with Spider Tie. We wanted to talk to you here from this roof because, as you probably already know, the first casualty of a home during a major storm is its roof. When you look at pictures of the aftermath, there may be walls and furniture still in a home, but its roof is gone. We have worked tirelessly to come up with a system so that won't happen. The real star here is the Spider Tie. This small little component makes it possible for you to clad any surface with structural concrete or cellular concrete, and we'll get into the difference later here in this video. But the point is this: if the roof cannot be separated from the walls, then your home stands a chance against these storms. This video was specifically designed for ICF home builders. What we're going to do is show you in the next few minutes how the roof system ties onto the wall system that you're already so familiar with. Before we get started, there's 3 things you need to know about your roof package. You'll order the trusses without eaves or tails. It'll be shorter in width and length, proportionate to the amount of exposed concrete at the top of the wall towards the outside, as you'll see. And the third item is that we need to have the trusses engineered for the additional weight of concrete. Now, the whole idea of putting concrete on your roof probably sounds like a crazy idea, but just simply look at the concrete as loads, dead loads, like any other, say for example snow. In some places in the United States, the snow loads are as high as 150 pounds per square foot. 3 inches of concrete is only 37.5 pounds per square foot. So to add this additional engineering or design load into the trusses is no major feat for the truss companies. These are 3 very simple steps, and we'll explain them in further detail. The point we want to take home here is you can see that the pressure-treated plate is set to the inside edge of your concrete wall. Everything else looks the same. We'll explain the rest of the process in further clips. So you have 2 choices. You can pour your eave with your wall, as you see here in these pictures, or you can pour your eave with your roof. That'll be pretty much left up to you. This animation is demonstrating the eaves being poured with the wall. But after that part is done, everything else is the same. You'll put the building wrap on the roof for moisture barrier, nail your spider ties directly to your plywood, put your rebar in per your specs, and then sheet the roof. If you're going to leave the plywood, we recommend that you sheet that roof with 3/4 inch plywood, giving you more nailing surface for your roofing. When you're pouring the roof, we've found that if we leave a 12-inch gap between the 4-foot runs of plywood, we can fill up to that point, we put the 12 inches in and move up to the next 4 feet. But what this does, it allows us to pour the concrete and get a full fill throughout the form. As you'll see in this part of the animation, this is simply showing pouring from the top just to get the point across, but in reality you're going to be pouring at different levels throughout the pouring process. You'll want to remember too to pour. You're going to pour the right side of the roof. You're going to only want to go up so far, jump over to the other side of the roof and fill up equally. You don't want to overweight the truss package all on one side. But what you get when you're all done is a concrete roof that is tied together with the entire structure. In this real-life project, it's pretty much demonstrating the same thing as the animation. You can see how the eaves are supported by those triangular boxes with 1/2-inch HDO form ply over the top of that. The most important part of your roof is going to be your eave. Remember, that's where the wind forces want to rip the rest of the roof off. Once the rebar is done, then the pouring process starts. But after that, everything else is exactly the same. Now, you can do this process with the roof, as I mentioned, or you can do it with the walls. Once you start on the roof, though, you're going to want to put down a moisture barrier. This will keep the concrete from doing any damage to the plywood. After that, strike a straight line for your first stack and nail it down with 8-penny ring shanks. This project required 3-inch EPS foam in between the stacks. But once you've started the process, it's just repetition across the roof. Simply nailing it down with 8-penny nails, ring shank nails. After that, you thread the rebar through per your specs. Typically it's 2 foot on center or 18 inches on center, whatever the engineering requires, and then you do the appropriate tying. The rebar that comes out of the eave needs to be bent over and tied off to your vertical rebars to go up and over the ridge and down the other side. After that, you've got a structure that's ready to be covered up with your final layer of plywood. Now, there are a couple of different ways you're going to do this. If you want to save your plywood and use it over and over again, as the pictures are showing here, we're using 1/2 inch HDO. So this plywood can get 30-40 uses out of it. Take it off and use it for the next job. But if you're not going to do that, we recommend that you use 3/4 inch plywood. Nail that plywood down. That'll give you a thicker surface to nail your roofing to, depending on what you're using. But the process of laying this plywood is very similar to what you did when you were sheeting the trusses. Simply lay it down. Those spider tie stacks are at 2 foot on center. So you just nail it off with the 8-penny ring shanks and you're good to go. For video purposes on this project, we demonstrated both methods. We show the majority of the roof where the plywood's removed and a certain part of the roof with the plywood left on. In the areas where the plywood's left on and you're using structural concrete, you're just going to nail right into that 3/4 inch plywood and it'll hold your roofing. Lightweight cellular will allow you to nail directly into it. The beautiful thing about the system is that whatever the shape the truss package creates, we're just going to mirror it. The other huge advantage is that you don't have to sacrifice design. It can be whatever you want it to look like. But the best part is you'll have a beautiful home that can withstand whatever nature throws its way. Whether it be tornadoes, hurricanes, or maybe even wildfires. And these are concerns of every homeowner, no matter where they live. And you can give them a structure that gives them peace of mind and feel absolutely safe in their 100% concrete home.